Okay, so I'm here to record part 8 finally. It's nighttime, so the lighting is not very good, but just bear with me and most importantly just try to pay attention to what I am trying to say tonight. So basically part 7 I left off talking about the discovery or the diagnosis of CVS for myself. So basically what happened is the doctor, I went in one day and the doctor said, based on the symptoms and the previous history, that he believed I was suffering from a disease that he knew of called CVS. And then he told me that it was not also known as cyclical vomiting syndrome, and that IBS was a symptom of CVS. So I had to go. I remember that day I was with my kids and I went straight to my car, and the first thing I did was look up CVS, or Google CVS, should I say. And what I found was that the symptoms, for the first time, actually all of the symptoms matched what I was going through. And I remember thinking, wow, this is unbelievable. This is crazy. What is CVS? And just not knowing. I need a little more light, so give me just a moment. I'll be right back. Well, hopefully that helps. As you can see in the background, I turned the TV on. And I think it gave it just a little bit more light. So, I went and looked up CVS, and all of the symptoms kind of matched what I was going through for the first time ever. The constipation, the indigestion, the migraine headaches from time to time, the accountability for it returning every month around the same time, like in the same way, about how I progressively gotten worser over a period of time, about the sensitivity to stimulation, the lights, the sounds, about the vomiting, the nausea, the orthostatic intolerance or low blood pressure. Oh God. I mean, like, for the first time, everything that I had been looking for was right there, but it was as if it was a Pandora's box, because now it's like I have an answer, but the answer I have, the medical professionals don't yet have an answer for. CVS, from my research, was only discovered about 20 years ago. And if you know cancer, they've been researching cancer for almost 200 years. So, and they still haven't found a cure and don't know how it presents. So, 20 years of research, there's just not a lot of information out there on my disease, and there's not a lot of people to go to talk to. And when I first started suffering, there weren't a lot of YouTube videos. There weren't a lot of people posting stuff on YouTube videos. I couldn't really find a lot of stuff on CVS that was helpful to me beyond the symptoms, what I was going through. Other people being able to relate or say, yes, this is also what I'm going through. But there wasn't any information on there about, basically, I wasn't able to find a lot of information about how it presented. And the videos that I did see were very vague. It's a very objective disease. Unless somebody witnesses an attack, it witnesses how often the attacks are, and how debilitating they are when they do occur. And they only see during well moments or well periods. They'll never quite grasp how hard or how much of a struggle dealing with cyclical vomiting syndrome is. In my research during that time, I believed they were wrong. It didn't make sense to me. The disease doesn't make sense. The answer didn't make sense. So, but it did answer my question. So it forced me to at least take it serious. And then I started to claim it and accept it. I'm dealing with CVS. I'm dealing with CVS. And people would be like, what is that? When I would go to the hospital with the tax, the doctors would be like, what is CVS? And then I would tell them I smoked marijuana for the CVS. And then they would tell me that the marijuana caused the CVS. And then I would tell them, do you know that I had the CVS before I ever started smoking marijuana? And then after that, they didn't even want to have anything else to say to me, because now they can't blame it on me. Now it can't be, oh, it's your fault. So, hey, I've been dealing with the struggle of CVS for 7 years. I've only been smoking marijuana for 4 years. Do you have an answer for that as well? And then there's usually, oh, there's nothing wrong with you. Get your butt up out of here, security. And I'm so serious. I used to keep my wristbands on my arm. If you'll notice in my older videos, I had all my wristbands on my arm still, because I used to keep them on, because I was tired of people telling me that I wasn't going to the doctor and I wasn't trying to get help and I didn't want to be better. This is my life. I love it. I spent so much investing into what's up here that I don't want to just let it go without, using it for something, at least giving it to somebody, or showing, teaching somebody else the importance of, building up their brain and their knowledge. So it was just like, wow, people really thought that's what I wanted. And so, researching the disease myself, I came to find out that what they did believe to know about the disease per se is that it's a mitochondrial disease. The mitochondria are also known as kind of like the workhorse, the workhouse, the powerhouse of the DNA. And I might not be saying this exactly 100% correct, because I'm really trying to come from my memory of college of of what this is, my physiology class, and it talks about the mitochondria is the powerhouse. It's the nucleus part of the DNA of the cell. It's the RNA. I can't remember what RNA means, but I know DNA is dinucleate something. Now I don't even know that. DNA, dinucleic acid. I think dinucleic acid. So RNA is the messenger producer that makes the mitochondria produce the cells. So the mitochondria is the powerhouse that even produce the cells. The DNA is the structure that tells it the code to put in, and then the mitochondria go and make it. So if you can imagine, you work at a warehouse, you put the code in, that's the DNA, and then every time you print that same thing over and over and over, that's the mitochondria creating what the DNA told it to make. So if I have a problem with my mitochondria, then depending on where that problem lies within the DNA strand, I'm going to have some type of issue, malfunction, would you say, some type of malfunction, I want a functional disorder, some type of functional disorder. And for me to know exactly what functional disorder would develop from that, I would have to go into my DNA and actually look at the makeup and see where something was mismatched. And so, if you know, when you go to the hospital, they always give you the famous labs, blood tests, urinalysis. That's the cheap one-all diagnostic tool. If you were to go to I don't know, build a website, you know what I'm saying? And you were a professional. You want a professional website. You don't want that Wix website where it just has you a picture. You want a detailed website, that tells everything that you do in detail. Well, then that's kind of how that works. So, you gotta kind of, I think I lost myself. But anyway, it's a mitochondrial disease. And so to find out exactly where the malfunction is, I would have to have a very good diagnostic tool, or expensive diagnostic tool that could go back, look into my DNA, and actually find out where the mix match was in the ladder, or something like that, the rung of the ladder, the matchup, like the guanine. I don't know. I don't want to call them hormones, but they're the steps on the ladder of the DNA structure. But that's a more expensive and invasive diagnostic tool. And so, you basically get your labs. And what I learned in my research about labs, about those blood work and urinalysis labs, is that if the part of the body that is malfunctioning is not at 90% malfunction, you won't get any results from regular blood work or regular lab work, unless you see something like a lump or something that you can subjectively take apart and look at. But other than that, there's no way to find out what I'm going through objectively without a very, very expensive diagnostic test. And medical systems don't want to do that because, first of all, I'm not what they would say rich enough to afford the kind of care that I would need to deal with a disease on that level. So it's like oh, you'll be all right, just learn how to live with it. The crazy thing is that I never understood how the CVS affected my diet. I never understood it. And so that was the thing that I guess that was the battle, because after I was diagnosed with CVS, before I was diagnosed with CVS in 2015, February 2015, I remember my birthday, December 2013, I was still about 200 pounds. If you look at my screensaver picture on my YouTube channel, that was my birthday, December 2013. That was the last time I was that size. February 2014, I had dropped 40 pounds. I was 160 pounds. Everyone said, "Oh my God, you look so good. What are you doing? What are you doing?" And I was in a fight for my life. I was eating and losing weight. And couldn't get anyone to take it serious. Not even my doctors. They kept saying, "Oh, you look so fit. You look so good. You were overweight and now you look good. You look so nice." And I kept saying, "Well, I don't feel so nice." And yeah, you guys told me I have CVS, but what are we gonna do about it? I'm not gonna just live like this, right? Now we're gonna do something about it. And so they prescribed me a medication called amitriptyline, and it's basically a nerve medicine because CVS is basically affects my nerves. So I guess what it does is when and I didn't find this out in from my reading research. I guess I found this out through revelation and intuition and experience. And I guess what I would say the scientific method is what I learned in college. It looked like this video is out of time. I'm going to make a part 2 to this. So just hold up. I'm going to post this video, make a part 2, and be right back with part 8 too, or part 9.